Sorry. Today, it is the sixth class of Python. What today
Ah,
we will do is function. Okay,
okay.
function part. Today we will start. Mm, Function is a very important programming construct. We all must know about function, what it is, and how uh, in Python we can write a function. Okay. So what function basically is? Function is basically a subroutine. Okay. Means whenever you are doing a task, you can write a long code. Okay. Or you can break your code into some segments which you can reuse. Okay. So you can always break a long program into some reusable segments of codes, you can say. And those reusable segments of code can be termed as function, subroutine, subprogram, okay, methods.
Hmm.
There are different names of
Hmm.
functions available in different programming language. So today we will discuss about function, how in Python, how we write a function, especially when you are coming from C, C++, or even Java background, you already know what is called function and what is method. So for
Hmm.
you, it is just to convert those concepts, means just syntactical conversion that you only need to understand function and nothing else. Okay, it's a very simple
Okay.
syntax Python follow to define a function. So
Hmm.
let's start first for who knows, means who are not from programming background, or maybe the beginners. For them, I'm just quickly saying a few words about function. Suppose you are writing a code and you have these lines inside a code. Okay, these lines. Among these lines, these two lines you need in repeated form. Means in multiple places you need these three lines of code. Suppose here you also need these three lines of code. Then what you have to do?
Had to group them.
You need to know if you are not following the function concept. Then what you have to do? You have to write those three lines of code here again. Then again maybe you have some other task. After that you need those three lines of code again here. See here how many lines of codes are there. Anyway, some lines of codes are there now. So this is one way we can write the programs or the codes.
Program.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now see another concept. Suppose we group that three methods somewhere else, okay,
Hmm.
and give a name to that group, say A.
Hmm.
This is a block of
Hmm.
code, okay.
Hmm.
And now we are writing our own program. See here, these are the two lines I have to write. These are the two lines I am writing. Now, whenever you are having these three lines of code, I am just writing this A.
Writing yeah.
Okay. Then again, you have two lines of code. So write two lines of code. Then again, you are
Yeah.
in a requirement of
Calling the
having these three
function.
lines. So you write A. Okay. Then again, you have three lines of separate code. So three lines of separate code. Then again, you are requiring that three lines of code. So write A. Okay. Now I am assigning a rule that whenever, see, you know that program follows this flow na, from top to bottom. Okay. So program follows in this
Hmm.
direction. Okay. Maybe in
Yes.
between we can have some iteration so that we can send the control. This is actually the control flow. This is actually
Hmm.
the control flow.
Control.
Control. Control flow. Okay. It's just like water flow. Control flows from top to bottom.
Hmm.
Okay, now I'm assigning a rule such that here also the control flow will take place. So the rule is whenever the control flow encounters this symbol, this will jump to that place. Okay, this will jump to that place,
Okay.
and the control starts flowing there till it reaches the end of that segment, and then again it will back to that same place from where it left out. Then again control will flow
Hmm.
in this direction. Okay, again you
Hmm.
have this A, so again it will join to that part. Okay, executing those statement and again returning back. Okay, again the control will flow, again the same thing will happen. It will join that part, these lines of code will be executed and then again returning
Hmm.
to this position. Okay,
Hmm.
this is called the function or the subroutine. Okay, function.
Hmm.
Okay, this is also you can refer as a subprogram or method or whatever you can say, a modularization actually you are applying here. Now what is the advantage of doing this thing? The advantage is clearly visible here. See here, let's count the lines of code, that is LOC, lines of code. Okay, so one,
Hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 16.
15, 15. Hmm.
So total 16 lines of codes are there. Now here you count
Hmm.
how many lines of code we actually written over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and plus these 3. So 10 plus
Hmm.
3 means 13. Total
13.
number of lines of code is 13. Here it is 16. Okay,
Hmm.
you may say that only difference of 3 lines. No, it's not like that. Maybe you are having this much of code. Here we are having this segment 3 times. Now if
Hmm.
you call this segment for 300 times, then what will happen? So consider
Number
that
of
part
code
also.
lines codes.
Okay. So this will significantly reduce the number of lines in your code. That is the
Hmm.
main advantage of using
Writing
function
function.
in your program. And one more advantage is there, that is called the maintenance. Means if you want to
Hmm.
change something inside this code, okay, then here
Hmm.
you may change something here, okay, in a single line, okay, and that
Hmm.
it will take effect in all the areas. But here you have to change in 3 lines, okay, and this will also increase the uh, means the chances of getting errors. Maybe some mistakes will occur while you are changing multiple lines. Rather, if you
Yes.
are changing only single lines, then the chances of error is much less. Okay,
Hmm.
in terms of maintenance, function is always useful and as an
Yes.
advantage. Okay,
Okay.
so the concept of using function in your program, okay, means suppose you want to write a program and you are applying the
Hmm.
concept of function. Okay, so
Hmm.
whenever you have that kind of a task, some reusable task, you are having a function. You must understand that this task is going to be reused again and again. We will need this kind of task in our program. Then we will construct a function for that. Okay, so
Okay.
writing the program in that way, in that philosophy, may be termed as function oriented programming. What I am saying, function oriented programming.
Oriented programming.
Now, in case of object oriented programming, although we will discuss object oriented programming later here for Python,
Hmm.
but if you know already object oriented programming, where we actually concentrate on finding the objects that we will need to make the total solution. Here, in case of function oriented programming, we are actually constructing the functions that we will use to build the application. That is a function oriented
Mm-hmm.
programming. So in Python, Python follows both function oriented programming and object oriented programming. Okay. So this is all
Okay.
about function. So now when you are using this thing, these are called function call. These are called function call.
Function call.
And where you have defined, where you have declared all the method, this is called
It is function definition.
function definition. Okay. Or you can say function body,
Okay.
function definition. So whenever you are
Mm.
using the function name, so it is basically calling the function. You are
Mm.
actually calling the function. It's like you are calling somebody, okay, for to
Mm.
do a task for you. Okay, maybe you are calling your
Okay.
um, maybe you are calling your what I can say driver. Okay, maybe you are calling
Mm.
your maid. Maybe you are calling your colleagues to do some task for you. Okay, so these are the tasks
Mm.
they will do for you. Okay, now after that every call must be returned, means everyone whom you are calling, they must return something to you. Okay, it may be some value
Mm.
or it may be some response. Okay, so these are called returns. Okay, in general a
Okay.
function a function returns a value, and if a value is not returned, then
Void.
simply the control will be returned. Na? Control.
Control.
This control was moved to that place. Okay, after executing all the
Mm.
statement over there, so the control brings back to the uh,
Line.
point where the calling was made. Okay,
Mm.
so function can returns either value or control. Okay, we will
Mm-hmm.
see all these things in our demonstration program. Okay, so this is
Okay.
all about function. If you have any query, then you always can tell me. Okay.
It's clear.
Okay, fine. Next is our where is the PPT? Okay, so quickly read if I have anything specifically mentioned to here. Function is named sequence statement. Okay, you will read these things out. Functions are also known as subroutine, procedure, sub-procedure. Okay, fine. Just check if anything you do not understand here. To have function code, we need function definition and function call, right? Okay, then we'll do function use def keyword. We will see it in demonstration. What is function call? I told you function call is to transfer the control flow to that particular segment area. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Next, you have the type of function. Okay, in Python, you will have three kinds of functions basically. Okay, the first one is always
Mm-hmm.
there. Means it's not about only Python. It is true for every programming languages. Okay, so in Python, there are some functions called built-in function. Means the Python library already giving it to you.
You'll have some.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that you can use those functions to build your program. Your basic needs will be
Fulfilled.
maintained by those functions. Those are all open functions to means functions given by the Python open to use. Okay. So
Mm.
those are called built-in functions. I have specified some built-in functions here. Okay. Uh, I have taken it from some web resources. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
these are some built-in functions. Next, we have something called modular functions. Now, what is a module? Module in Python has a great impact. Means without
Mm-hmm.
learning modules or without using modules, you cannot do things in Python. Okay, simply like that.
Mm-hmm.
What is a module? Module is simply a package. If you know Java, okay, then you
Mm.
compare module with a package. You remember this
Okay.
package from Java? Okay.
Yes, yes. Util package. I.
If you do not know Java, if you know C, okay, then you can compare module as a library, or you can say simply for simplicity purpose, you can compare module with a header file. Okay, you all know what is
Okay.
header file. Header file is a collection of methods, not
Precompiled classes.
they basically the declaration of the functions. Okay, or and with
Mm.
some constants and macros in it. Okay, so altogether it is a package, okay, where you will find many things, many utility things. Okay, so module is something like that in Python. Okay, inside a module you
Mm-hmm.
will find many programs, many functions. Okay, so what a module actually contain in Python some utility functions. Okay, some modules will also contain some other things like classes and objects. Okay, but we are considering the functions. Okay, some modules are there which contains the functions, and whatever functions you find inside a module, those are called module function. Okay, next
Okay.
we have user defined function. Okay, now what is a user defined function? Users means the programmers often need,
Can define their own program.
yeah, often need some specific type of methods or functionality. Okay, which is not defined by the system or by any modules. Then you we need to create our own functions. We need to create our own functions. Okay, so those functions are termed as user defined function. We will work on it more later. So what is built-in function? Built-in functions are given by the Python itself, like type. You know what is type, what type can do. Okay, so type is a built-in function. Okay, see here we have some more built-in functions given here. You can always try these things and Google these things if you really want to know what each individual functions are doing. But presently you do not
Mm-hmm.
require that details. Okay, uh, but if you have the query, then you can always go. So for details of each function you can always visit to this site. This is the documentation part of Python. Okay, these
Mm-hmm.
notes are given by the Python itself, Python official website. Okay, and no book can be better than the original documents given by that particular programming language or that particular technology. Okay, so you can always refer to that part. Maybe it is also taken from there, I don't know, actually I can't remember right now. Okay, module function. What is module function? I told you. See here, math is a module, and inside math, sine is a function. And how to
Mm-hmm.
use that function? You have to use that function using a dot operator between it. Okay, so module name
Mm-hmm.
dot method name.
The
Okay,
function name or a method name.
to include a module in your program, you have to use that module. Okay, like that. Okay, you have to import that particular module into your program, only then you can use that particular
Functions.
function in your program. Okay, so that is your module function. We have to use lots of module functions or modules later. Now here comes the most important thing, user defined function. Now what is the user defined function? User defines their own functionality for their own purpose, specific purpose. These are called user defined function. Okay, now a user defined function can be written in these four different types. Okay, now let me tell you, suppose a function, how to write a function in Python.
Mm.
To write a function in Python you have to use this keyword def, short form of
Okay.
definition. Then you have to give the
Mm-hmm.
function name. Say you are giving function
Mm-hmm.
name as fun. Okay, now if you want to pass some parameter or argument, then you can put over here, but currently I am not taking anything. So this is the definition of a function.
mm,
Then you have to give two colons as usual and write the body here.
mm,
Okay, with a proper indentation. See, this is the indentation. Okay,
mm.
you have to follow the indentation. Now whenever you are out of that indentation, your function is over. So this is your function. This is your function, complete function. Now how to invoke that
Okay.
function or how to call that function? You have to give a function call. This is called a function call. You have to give the function name. Fun is the function name, and you have to give this open and close parenthesis to signify that this is actually a function. Okay, if you write only fun, then Python will understand that this fun is a variable. Okay,
Very.
to make sense that this is a function, you have to give this parenthesis. Now if you put this statement, so what it will do, it will transfer the call here. Okay, and these lines will be executed. So this is the way how you can write a function in Python, an user defined function. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, now when you are writing an user defined function, you always can define a function in four different ways. In these four different ways. Now here, let me read it for you. Give and take are the two things, two verb are used here to signify that. What is give? Give means the return statement. Okay, return statement. Take means the parameter.
Parameter.
Parameter or the argument. I am explaining it later. Okay. But currently, I would like to show you how to write a simplest function in Python. Okay, so quickly move into our ideally. Okay. See here, we are going to write a function. Okay, I am not creating any files, right? I am not
Okay.
creating any files
Mm.
here. I'm just creating some functions on the shell and use those functions. Okay,
Okay.
say let's write a function which will just print a hello message. How to write that function? So give def, then give the function name. This is function name, and to signify that this is your function, you have to give open and close parenthesis.
Parenthesis. Colon.
Then you have to put a colon. See here, you have the proper indentation given by the Python or the ideally. Then write the print statement. Inside the print statement, hello Python.
Hello.
Is that? Enter and press enter. So you are out of the function scope. Okay. So this is your scope.
Mm.
This is your function scope. Now
Mm.
here you are out of the function scope. Okay. Now if you want to call that function, what you have to do? You have to
Fun.
initiate the function call like that. Okay. Press enter. Say hello Python. Maybe you are doing some other task here. Some other task. Okay. Now after that, you again, if you initiate that call, so it will call. Okay. Now this
Mm.
piece of code is being stored in memory. Okay. This piece
Mm.
of code is being stored in memory. Okay. For temporary, although for it is if you close this editor, then this piece of code will not be there in memory. But currently, as it is an instance of this, ideally, so this piece of code is kept there inside memory. You can always print the address. Say if you print fun or just type fun, you will get the address of that respective of that piece of code. Okay, this is the area where this piece of code is kept in memory. And by using this
Okay.
statement, we are actually transferring the call to this memory segment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once the control flow is transferred to this memory segment, these lines of codes are there, written over there. These lines of codes are executed sequentially, one after another, automatically. Okay. Got it?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine. So this is the way how you can write a function. Now let's do something more. Say def sum. Okay. No. Say I'm writing the same def fun.
Mm.
Now, inside def fun, I'm having a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b, and print c. Okay. Now what will happen? If you call the same function, you got 30. You are not getting that
Mm.
Python.
Hello, Python. Mm.
Why? Because
It is
that
overwritten.
that same function is been overwritten by this one. Okay.
Mm.
Now if you print that fun again, what you are getting a different memory location.
Different address.
So this piece of code is now stored at a different place in memory, and this
Mm.
this is the name of the function. This is the name of the function. It acts simple like a
Okay.
variable. Okay. Or you can, if you remember from C, it's a pointer type thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is actually doing, it is actually, this variable is actually pointing to that memory address. Now, initially it was just before writing this function, initially it was pointing to that memory address. Now when we override this one, so it is that fun is now pointing to this memory address. Okay. So simply this is the way how you have to write a function. So this is one simple function. Again, I'm writing for you. Okay. Now let
What
me,
happened to that memory location?
sorry,
That address, what it was, it is become empty now, or how it is?
that memory, this one.
Ah, where hello Python was stored.
Yeah, that is not been referred for the time being. Now, once we close this
Okay.
one, okay, this memory location will be recycled by the Python itself.
Okay.
দাদা একটা প্রশ্ন আছে।
Sure.
বলছি যে তুমি ফাংশনের মধ্যে যে তুমি স্ট্যাটিক ভ্যালু গুলো নিলে
হুম।
10, 20, তো এগুলো আমি ইউজার ইনপুট ভ্যালু নেওয়া যায় না এখানে এভাবে?
সব কিছু করা যায়। Everything you can do here. You can take user input. You can write any piece of code inside a function. Function is, you do not count function as something new or something different than writing a simple, writing a plain code in Python. Okay, whatever you can write in Python, that you can do inside a function. Function is just like a named block piece of code, nothing else. Okay, see here, whatever you can write here. So this is a simple area of writing a function, na? Means writing a code, na? So this piece of code we have already written inside the program. Okay, so function is basically grouping of these things, nothing else. So you can write any piece of code inside a function. There is no restriction. Ki, these things we can write inside function. That thing we cannot write inside function. No, no. Okay, is it clear?
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
Okay, fine. Now I am showing something, that is, if anyone wants to communicate with a function, And how it can be done? So def, I'm taking a function if, okay, uh, see here, I am giving a v, I'm writing a v here, okay, this
Hmm.
v, okay. Now I am just printing this v, okay. Now see here, this f is a function, okay, this f is a function. What is this v then? So this is your f,
Some parameter.
okay, this is your f. Now you wants to call this f, okay, this is f, okay. Now when you are
Hmm.
calling that body, you are sending some value, okay.
Hmm.
Maybe you are asking someone to go for the market and bring some vegetables for you, okay.
Hmm.
So now that person is going, will go to the market, but you are also giving some amount of rupees. No, you give him some amount of rupees. So with that rupees, that person will go to the market and purchase some
Get
vegetables
the
for
things.
you, and he or she will return back to you, okay. So this
Hmm.
variable, sorry, this value, it must store, means this person must store this rupees, whatever you give him or her, okay, must store somewhere,
Hmm.
okay. So v is something like that, okay. Say v, it is storing a parts, maybe he is carrying a parts, and inside that parts he is storing the amount that you are
Hmm.
um, giving to him, okay. So this v is basically the value is going to be stored in this variable. This is a variable, okay, this is a variable, okay, it's a variable. Now see, when I am calling this function, I'm calling this function, so if I'm passing some value, that value, this if function is actually storing that value in v. While you are printing v, it is showing that value, right? So
Hmm.
this way you can communicate with a function, okay.
Okay.
Now say I am writing another function def g, okay. Inside g we are calling that function f, okay, and inside f we are passing some other value. See here, it's not like that you can call the functions only from here, you can call these functions from another function, okay.
Hmm.
We are writing a function g, and inside g we are
Hmm.
actually calling the function f, and inside f we are passing
Hmm.
some value, okay. This f will be happy
Hmm.
to take that value 555 inside v, and it will do work with that v. Currently we are just printing that value v, okay. So if you now call g, what you will get? You
Hmm.
will get 555. How this 555 is
Hmm.
printed? When we are calling this v, okay, sorry, g, this statement will be executed. When this statement will be executed, this f function will be called, and the value passed here, this is we call passing a value, okay. We are passing a value to the function, okay. Okay, so this is the way how you can communicate with the function. Now here, consider this is a function, okay, and this is u, like that. This is g. So g wants to communicate with f. So when g is calling f, so it is passing a value. So this value has been passed. So this value is now stored in f's pocket, okay. Now after purchasing the vegetable, f must return something to g, right? So we will modify the function in such a way that f can also communicate to its calling part, okay. this is f, this is g. From inside g we are actually calling the f.
If
Okay, so here we can call, just to give me 1 minute. Okay, so these are two functions, right?
uh,
Because you are calling this f from inside this one, so we will say this function as a calling function, since it is calling the
calling
function. And we are,
a function,
we will call this function as a called function. So this is a calling function and this is a called function.
called function.
So by passing this value 555, this calling function is actually trying to communicate with the called one, right? Now
Yes.
we want to modify some way that this called function, okay, can also communicate with the calling function. But currently we, whatever we write in this function, there is no way how f can, means f cannot communicate with g. Okay, we will modify it. See, now we are writing that f again. Okay, say inside f, v is not been printed, rather we are incrementing v, say maybe by 50. Okay, so
Okay.
whatever the
Mm.
value taken by the f in v, we are incrementing the value by 50. Now return v, this is the statement, this is return statement. This will return the control along with the value, okay, from the called function to the calling function. Just end it.
Okay. Okay.
Now let me write. Okay, now we have to redefine this function again. Why? Because
Because it
this
is to hold.
time this function is returning something, so you are
It should
taking
hold
the value inside this variable r and then print r.
R.
Okay, now quickly copy the thing. So this is your g, and, and this is your f, this is your f. The situation is same. This is calling function and it is passing the value 555 triple five. Okay, this is calling function, and this function is called function when it is returning back, it is actually returned back 555 plus 50, no, plus 50.
Yes.
And whatever it is returning, this g function is actually storing the value inside this variable r. Okay,
Mm.
so what the output will be? The output will be your triple five plus 50. Okay, so this is the way how two functions can communicate with each other. Okay, see, just run the code. Now what you have to do, you have to call the method g. Here 65605 is the result. Tell me if you are getting the thing.
Yes. It's clear.
Okay, see here then, depending on this understanding, okay, if you have a function, okay, quickly think from functions perspective. Okay, Think
Okay.
from functions perspective. Okay, from the called functions perspective rather. Okay, from the called functions
Okay.
perspective, if you think this is a take value, na?
Mm.
This is a take value. This called function
Yes.
is actually taking the value. This is a take value.
Mm.
Okay, and this is a give value.
Mm.
From called functions perspective, this value means 605 is giving as output. Okay, and this value is taking as input.
Okay.
So this is a take
Okay.
and this is a give.
Give. Mm.
So depending on this way, suppose you have, this is a calling function and this is a called function. So
Mm.
this function can be called uh, in four different way. This function can be used in four different way. Okay, first
Mm.
one is, this function is not taking anything from the calling function, and it will not return anything to the calling function, just it will perform some task. Okay, just it will perform some task. This function, this is calling, this is calling, and this is called. Okay, this function is just invoking the called function, and this called function is performing some task. This we can signify as give nothing, give nothing, take nothing. Give nothing, take nothing. It's just like you are asking your maid that, yeah, you go to the market and see what are the vegetables available for today. You are not
Okay.
giving him the money. Okay,
Mm.
and also she he or
And
she will
she
not
will not get back
not
anything.
get back you the required vegetables. He will just visit to the market and watch everything, what are the available vegetables are there, and just saying that these are the vegetables. He is actually not giving you anything. Okay, so this is the way how you can send him to the market. And the same thing, this is the way how a calling function can call a function, give nothing, take nothing. Okay, the next part
দাদা
is,
কনসেপ্টটা আরেকবার একটু বলবে মানে একটু ঘেঁটে গেল
suppose you want to send your maid to the market. Okay, and you are asking like that, visit to the go to the market and see what are the vegetables available for today. Okay, you are not giving any money to him to purchase for you. Okay, so what that person will do, that person will visit to the market, see the available vegetables, and return back to you saying that these are the vegetables available. He is not actually giving you the vegetables, he is
হুম
not
হুম হুম
actually returning you anything. Okay,
হুম জাস্ট ইনফর্ম মি
just inform you. Okay,
হুম হুম
so from that person's perspective, he is not taking the money from you, and so he is
হুম
not giving the vegetables to you. So
হুম
that we can signify as give nothing, take nothing. Right? Got it?
আচ্ছা গট ইট
It's just an invoke. It's just an invoke. Okay. The next way you can send that person to the market. Okay. How? You are asking him go to the market and give him 100 bucks. Okay. Give him 100 bucks. So what that person will do, that person visit to the market. Okay, and have some tiffins and teas for him, and coming back to you saying that, okay, my money get lost in the road. This may happen. Okay, so now think about that person's perspective. That person is taking something
Mm.
but not giving anything, na? So this can be
হুম
signified as give nothing, take
Take something.
something, right? In the same way, the calling function can pass a value to the function, called function. That called function will do some performance with this value, but it is actually not returning anything to the calling function. This is another way how you can write a function. Okay. The third one.
Okay.
The third one is, suppose you are just invoking a function call. That means you are asking your maid, visit to the market and see what are the vegetables available. Okay. That person visit to the market and take some vegetables for you. You are not giving him any money, but still he is taking some vegetables for you. Okay. And he is
Mm,
returning back to you, returning those vegetables to you. Okay. Got it?
mm,
Maybe he have some
mm,
previous days balances in his pocket, or maybe something else. Okay.
mm.
This may happen also. So from function
Yes.
perspective, if you think this
Mm.
is give something but taking,
Take nothing, nothing.
so give something, take nothing. In the same way, you can write a function, okay, that calling function will invoke the function, called function, that called function will return some value to the calling function. But the calling function is not passing any variable, any values. The last one. What will be the last one? You can guess.
Give something, take something.
Yeah. The calling function is, means you are sending your maid by giving him 100 bucks and asking him to bring some vegetables for you. That person visit to the market, take some vegetables, okay, and return it back to you along with some balances maybe. Okay. So this you can signify as give something, take something. So these are the four ways. Now tell me, is there any other way left? Can you send that person to the market in
Mm.
any other form, in any other way?
No.
No, it is not possible. Okay. So
Mm.
these are the four ways only that you can write a function. And you can write any function in this mm, uh, all four ways. Okay. A same function can be written in the four way that I am going to demonstrate right now. Okay. But before that,
Okay.
means what I am
Mm.
saying here, a single function can be written in all four forms. That is up to
Mm.
you which form is required for your current scenario. You have to use that form. Okay. A single function can be written in give nothing, take nothing, give nothing, take something, give something, take nothing, and give something, take something in four different forms. It's up to you. You have to decide as a programmer which form you required in your current situation, and you will use that thing. Got it?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, okay. Tell me if you have any doubts till now. Otherwise, we are going to demonstrate how to write an user-defined function that we already have. This is the way how we write user-defined function. Now I am going to show you how to write a single function in these four different forms. Tell
It's
me.
all clear.
Okay. Just before moving to the demonstration, see here where we are. We are actually here. Okay. These are the four different ways how you can write a function. Okay.
Mm.
Let's move. Hmm. I'm just closing this. I'm creating another shell. Okay. Suppose we will do the simplest job, taking input two variables and
Mm.
produce a sum. Okay. Now here I am
Okay.
using a file. Okay. So I'm creating a file. First, let me create a simple Python file without using the function. Okay. How to do that? Tell me. Help me to write the program.
Input.
Today is 4. Say I'm giving the sum dot py. So a equal to int input,
Input.
enter
Enter
a.
a value.
Yes, enter a value. then
B equal to hint,
B is equal to
enter B.
B,
C equal to A plus
then
B.
C is equal to A plus B. Now you have to print the value of
Print
A.
C.
Print A. I'm using formatted output. A plus
Hmm.
B is equal
Equal
to
to C.
C. Okay. Save it and quickly run it. See, enter A, 100, 200, 100 plus 200 is 300. It's okay.
300. Yes.
Okay, now we will use the function here. Okay,
Hmm.
we will use the function here. So this is our application.
Hmm.
Since this is our application, we just comment it out. We are first applying what is called give nothing, take nothing. Na? Give nothing, take nothing. Give nothing, take nothing.
Yes.
So in give
Hmm.
nothing, take nothing format, how this thing, how the function can be introduced here? I'm just
Fun.
giving the function name add. I'm just writing the call here. Okay, I'm just writing the call here. In a give nothing, take nothing format, you have to call the function in this way. Okay, so that everything will be done by that function and it will do the task. Nothing. Okay.
Hmm.
Now in say if you the second one give something take uh,
Nothing.
give nothing take something. If I were to
Something.
write like that, give nothing take something. So how to call that function?
Add.
Give something,
Add A.
take something, na?
Some should be.
So you
V
are
something. Any
taking
variable.
some
Hmm.
values. Okay, maybe I am giving direct values here,
Hmm.
or rather that value a and b
Hmm.
will be good. Okay. So in give nothing take something format, you have to call the function in that way. But where is your a and b? So you have to take the a and b. You have to take the input of a and b here now.
Hmm. A equal to.
So to take input a and b, you just put those two statement. Got it? I'm just
Hmm.
writing these these calling parts. Later we will define all these functions. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now the next one. Next one is what?
Give. Take some. Give
Yes.
some. Give something.
Take nothing.
Take nothing.
Can you guess? Give something. It will give something, but it will
So
take nothing.
return
So how to call that method? How to call the function? You have to call the function in this way. C is equal to add take nothing.
nothing.
Right?
Hmm.
This function is taking nothing, but it will return some value, and that value will be stored in a C. So we have to write C here. Okay. We have to print
Hmm.
the value C here. Print C.
Hmm.
Got it?
Yes.
Now tell me, we will write the next segment later, but tell me, see here, this add, okay,
Hmm.
this function we need to define, right?
Hmm.
This function we also need to define, and this function we also need to define. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's do one by one. I have to comment it out. I can do this stuff for different files, but it will take much longer time. That's why I'm doing all these things in the same file. Okay, see here. Now, this part I need to, this function I need to
Define.
implement. Nah?
Define.
So, what I have to do? Just def add colon and make indentation. That's all. So you have defined the function add and do all the operations inside it, and you are
Mm.
using that function. Okay, let
Okay.
me, if it is okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, now just run it, save, and then run. It is asking value, say 15, 25. So 15 plus 25 giving 40. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now the second one. Okay. How to implement the second one? Just commenting this thing out. Open this part. We have to implement that part now.
Yes.
This is one segment. This will be your next segment. We are here in between. Here. Now we have to implement this part. How to implement that part?
Def add.
We have to define a function here. Okay. So def add inside that a comma
A
b.
comma B.
Okay.
Colon.
Just you are
All
doing c is equal to a plus b. In fact, these two lines.
intent.
In fact, these two lines.
Uh,
Okay. C equal to a plus b, and then again you are printing this one. So what, how the function will be executed, this program will be executed. First these two
we
statements
have to
will be
give the.
executed, then this function will be called with the value of a and b.
Mm.
Inside this function, this a and b, the value of this a and b is stored again in the value variable a and b. Okay, now this a and b is been added and put the value in c, and the result is been printed. Just quickly save it and run it. Save and run. Here it is asking me some value, say 100, 200, and it is showing 100 plus 300. Got it?
Mm.
Is it okay? So this is the
Yes.
way how you can write the same function but in a different format. Give nothing, take something. It is taking some value, but it is not returning anything. It is printing the whole statement, okay, inside it. It is not returning
Mm-hmm.
anything back to the calling function. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Now the next part. Comment it out. And the next part. Guess how to write this part. We have to define this one.
Def add.
We have to define this part. So see here, since we are not passing any value, so the values must be taken inside it, input. No?
Mm.
So this function. I'm taking the whole, then we will discard few lines from there. See here, we are calling the same function, give nothing, take nothing format. Okay. The only thing is that it will return the value. It will not print the value from there. What it will do, it will
It will
return the value. Rather, it will return the value, return C.
see.
And that value we are keeping inside another variable
It's
C. Okay. And we are printing the value from here. Okay. Now the only difference between the above between this function and the above function is you are not getting the value a and b here. Okay, you are not able to get the value that is given input by the user because we are taking the input from inside the function. So those values are there inside the function that cannot be visible from outside the function. Okay, if you want to see those values, then we can do that thing using some other data structure that we will learn later. But currently, here you are going to get the result of addition. You are not
Mm.
getting the values input by the user. That's all. Okay, so run it, save it, and run it. 500, 600. So you are getting the result 1100.
1000.
Fine. So this is the
Fine.
way how you can write a function in this format. Give something. So it is actually giving. This one is giving. Give something, but take nothing. It is not taking any values. Okay. Now the
Okay.
last one. Last one you can construct from the previous. Previous means from the other threes. Tell me how to write the last one. And what is the last one? Category? Give
Give
something,
something, take something.
take something. So it will be your give something, take something. So in give something, take something, what it will do? The function is going to take the values. Okay. The function is going to take the values and also it will return back the result.
Result.
So your C equal to,
I think comment is not closed.
so the call will be something like that. A equal to add inside that A comma B. No?
Mm.
Right. Now you have to take input A and B.
Define.
So take A and B.
Def add equal to.
Okay. Now you have to define this add. So def add A comma B. Inside that, what you will do? You will just perform the addition A plus B and then just
Return
return
C.
C. Nothing else. Simple thing. You have to do just only this two lines for the function. Okay. Now here see, you can use that printf statement because here A, B, C all are available in this scope. A, B, C all are available. So you can this message here. Okay. So in this format, this is actually the calling method, calling function, and this is the called function. So in this format, the calling function is actually sending some values to the function, called function, to perform some task. And after perform the operations on that value, the called function will return the result. And that is returned result will be stored by the calling function and it will display the result. Okay, save it. 100, 200. We are getting 100 plus 200 equal to 300. So I am just demonstrated here how to write a function in all four format. A single function, just remember a single function can be written in any of the format. It is up to you to decide which format is required for your problem and you will take that thing. Got it?
বুঝতে পেরেছি। আচ্ছা দাদা, তো এই যে তুমি যে ৪ রকমের দেখালে, তো
হুম।
৪ টের মধ্যে যেকোনো একটা তো আমি আমি ধরো ফলো করতে পারি। ধরো যেকোনো একটা তুমি যে প্রসেস ৪ টের প্রসেসের মধ্যে যেকোনো একটা প্রসেস আমি যেকোনো প্রোগ্রামের ক্ষেত্রে ফলো করতে পারি, রাইট? মানে
হুম।
এরকম কোনো হার্ড অ্যান্ড ফাস্ট রুল নেই যে এটার জন্য এটা ইউজ করতে হবে, ওটার জন্য
No,
ওটাই ইউজ করতে হবে, এরকম কোনো হার্ড অ্যান্ড ফাস্ট রুল নেই তো?
no, no, no. It's up to you how you design, how you require the function. See, these are all user defined function, na? So
হুম, 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 হুম,
user
হুম,
defined function means user will define everything for that function. How the function will be written, how the function will be used. Okay, so
হুম,
everything is
হুম,
in your control, so you will do the thing. There is no rule that here you need user, here you need this format, there you need that format. Okay, your application, your wish, your design, so you can write in any form. Okay,
হুম।
there is no such rule. Okay.
গট ইট।
Okay, so this was our, where we are here, we completed up to this part. Okay, so everything is there in the ppt. You will go through it and try to run each and every one at your machine, in your machine. Okay, then okay, one more thing I will tell you. See here, a function, say a. Okay, a. Now you call this function by passing a value. Say you have another variable a here, say 10. Now you pass this a into that function. It's not necessary to have this variable with the same name as that of a. You can put any name for this variable.
হুম,
There is no relation between this variable and that variable. Okay,
হুম,
that means what I am trying to say, say coming to the shell. See here, say I am defining a function, say f. Sorry, no, like that. Okay, see here, consider this function. Okay, see here, inside this area, I am taking input in a and b. I am passing the values a and b. When the value, after taking input, when this function is called, you know what happened? Add, suppose user give input 10 and 20 for respectively for a and b. So 10 will be replaced in a and 20 will be replaced in place of b. This will be, this will be created dynamically. And coming here, coming here, this 10 will be stored in this value variable a equal to will be 10 and b equal to will be 20. Now it is not required that you put the same name of the variable. You can put x and y here. There is no problem. X and y. Okay.
হুম,
You will use x and y here. X and y. Okay.
হুম,
There is no problem. That is not a problem.
হুম,
X and y. Save it and run it. You will get the same result. Say 50 and 60. You are getting 50 plus 60.
হুম,
Okay. Think or understand clearly that function possesses an area in memory. Means, suppose if this is your memory, memory means RAM, na?
হুম, হুম,
If you write a function, then that function will be kept in a memory block. If you write another function, that another function will be kept in some other memory block. Okay. So now whatever the variable you are declaring in this function, that for that uh, means that variable will be kept inside this memory block. Suppose you declare a variable named a inside this function, and there is another function g. You declare again a variable named a. These two variables are different. Okay, these two variables are different, and these are called locals. Locals. Okay, these are called locals. It's just like that. Your name is Rudra, and you are the only Rudra in your family. You are the only person who named as Rudra in your family. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now there may be some another family
Hmm.
where there is another person who is named with same name, Rudra. But these two persons are different. The same thing happens in case of functions. Okay. So these variables are called local variables, and these are called scope. This is called local scope. Okay. This is called local scope. 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 And these scopes are local scope. So if you use the term local, then obviously you understand there is a term called global must be there. Okay. If there is local, then there must be something called global. Otherwise, using the term local means nothing. Okay. So if you are
Hmm.
using
Hmm.
the term local, then obviously there is something called global. Okay. But what is a local, what is a global, that I am not going to discuss for today. Okay, we are not completing this PPT. This is a long PPT. We
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
do the rest of the thing in our next class. But currently, in our present, our today's class is to show you what is a function and how in Python we use a function, right? What are the different
Hmm.
types of function? This is the most important part. Okay, how to construct a function depend on your current need. So by taking this knowledge, okay, I would like to request you to do some program. Okay, I will send some exercise, I will send some assignments to you, the group. So you will do those assignments, a simple task. Okay, so that you get a hand-on experience on how to write a function. Then after, in our next class, we will decide all these things, scoping, and there are many things. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So today, up to this, if anyone have any problem, then you can ask me right now.
না এটুকু বুঝেছি, মানে যতটুকু বলেছো ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে।
Okay, fine. Let me stop the recording first.